One of them.
I'm not even short. I'm average height.
But you're shorter by like at least a foot.
Then who?
Me.
Oh, come on. It's like 3 inches.
When I look over, it's just like I just see the top of your head.
You don't even see me, huh?
No.
We should do one of those ones with like point of view of what I look like to like the husband or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen that. I think I saved that as one of our like trending reel options.
What it looks like when I work with Mike.
Yeah. The other one was like when you want to talk eye level, and so it starts we're both at the same height, and then when it pans down,
I'm standing on a box.
You're just standing regular, and I have my legs wider out, so I'm like at your level. I'm really excited for that one, actually. I think it's going to be hilarious.
There's a component where we send stuff back and forth to each other. I sent him this idea for off of a reel last night. That it's like reels of what kids do, but like we could do this for brokers, and it's like these kind of tropic stereotypes of like what kids do. Well, we can do like one is where the kids are always leaving glasses of water around. Well, we can just be pulling A boards out of the back of the car endlessly.
Yeah, yeah.
Things like that.
I think those will be funny. There was some that I was like, oh, we could do this, but with scotch. Like they'll use coffee, and I'm like, oh, scotch.
I see.
Yeah. It's like 9 a.m. and then you start typing 9:01 scotch.
Like, well, what do I need to be prepared for, right, as a buyer? And right now, man, it's a lot of. It turned on a dime about a month ago. It was just this like complete change in the market.
It's not like interest rates are any better. It's just it's kind of always like that at the beginning of the year, at least the last few years, because there's not a lot of inventory on the market, and when there's not a lot of inventory, and there's a lot of buyers, especially right after the year, they're like, this is going to be our year to buy a house. And so they go in and they're like, yes, let's get it. And so then there's 16 offers. She didn't even tell us how many offers she got on the other one. She just sent us the competing offer that showed, yep, you went to your max.
It's and it's that whole cyclical thing that we have to deal with every year where right after the holidays, you roll into people start activating, and then that continues right up until May. And May is kind of the peak in activity, but the peak in pricing happens like in June, generally speaking. So there's a little bit of a lag, and then it starts to slow down a little bit because you've moved into like, oh, people are starting to go on vacations and things like that, and after that, it's back into the holidays again, and things slow down.
Yeah.
So
October, November, December, if you're a buyer, those are like my favorite because it's just kind of like people have to sell. Most likely, and then you don't have as much competition, but at the same time, you can kind of get a deal. Yeah,
there are less opportunities, but
right,
the psychology changes. Like that is like a prime window if you're really serious and you can find something you like. That August, September through till tail end of December.
Yeah,
if you can find something in there that makes you happy, like that would be when I would do it. Because these same buyers that we got under contract this week, they probably could have got it at 1050 if it was 2 months ago.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's insane.
Wow. Yeah, it's all about the time of year.
So yeah, that was this week.
I'm trying to think what else happened this week. Allison was on vacation.
Imagine that.
She was in Hawaii.
Okay, I was gonna ask because you said Allison for the bottle there, and I was gonna ask, is that the one who is always in green?
Yeah, and taking off all of the dates. So she was in Hawaii.
Just to recap, when we do our business planning at the end of the year for the coming year, we try to lay out like dreams, desires, what we're looking for, what we want to achieve, business, personal.
Yep.
And Eric and I will identify maybe a vacation here or there, and then Allison comes in with just
three pages
of like times that need to be off. So yes, she's in green, and when you just see a sea of green come in the summer months.
And those pages are just like from now until
June.
May.
Yeah, May.
Oh yeah, like when the kids get out of school, and then she goes, and then we're gonna be going to Chelan, and so it's like
that's not in the same category as the rest of the things.
No, of course not.
Yeah, so she goes, we'll pick those weekends later, and then I'll let you know about the fall. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, great, thank you.
She works really hard though.
She
but
does
yes,
work hard, yeah.
It is a running joke.
And Abby was sick this week, so she wasn't around.
Did
It
you
was
hear
like
about
a
that?
twofer.
No, I actually ran into her at like a friend's going away thing last.
Oh, the one that was going to
Saturday.
Florida or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah.
But there was like so many mutual friends there that I was like trying to like make my way over to her.
She said the same
to,
thing.
Like say hi and like catch up because all we've been doing is emailing about this, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, I actually want to, hear what's going on in your life. And I just like kept getting stopped and like catching up with other people. You don't want to be rude.
Right.
And,
Right.
like, cut
Yeah.
off a conversation.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I like turned around. I was like, where'd Abby go? And then I like texted her. He's like, oh yeah, we had to go. I was like, sorry. I'm so sorry.
Well, I can tell you as far as we are aware, her life is still very good, very beige.
Yeah. Like very beige. Actually, she's throwing in some
She's
blacks now.
throwing in color. So
Yeah.
the running joke between me and Abby is everything she wears is beige. In fact, if we showed you her office her space in our office, her keyboard's beige. Her mouse is beige. Everything's beige.
Yeah. Oh, her pens.
Oh, yeah.
Her pens are beige. And her pen holder is also beige.
I'm just like, it's a thing. But she's been thrown in color now.
Yeah. Yeah, there was like a matte burgundy pen in there. And she's been wearing
black.
All black, yeah.
See, I got called out the other week for never wearing any color. Like I just wear black. Like I'm like Steve Jobs, but not as rich or smart or successful.
Yeah.
And so I like walked into a coffee shop that I always go to the other day or the other week, and the owner, who I'm like become friends with, she walks in, she's like, "You're wearing color today," and I was like, "Wait a second, this is like a known thing that I never wear color." And
I didn't want to say anything. I
Yeah.
didn't want to say anything, but
What color?
It was like a green shirt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And she was like, wow.
And like
I had no idea your eyes were green.
I wore some like blue jeans, instead of my typical just comfy.
So like kind of like this a little bit, but
different green.
Yeah.
Yeah, more on the teal side of things.
Okay.
But yeah, I was like, wait a second.
I have colored clothes here. There are other colors besides blue or black and white.
I do wear a lot of blue too. Yeah. I think we have. That's why we haven't ever.
For one reason or another.
I've always liked blue.
Well, and it's easy because my kids pick out my clothes most of the time. So
I think that's not true.
they did it today.
Okay.
No, they do. They like to go into my closet and pick my clothes. So like I'm like yesterday I was like, Ashley.
He's like, do you want to pick this sweater for Dad? Do you want to pick?
So I'm like, I need
these
you to
pants?
pick pants. Okay. I need jeans though, because we're going to be walking around in the snow. And so the first thing he goes for is like the light white khakis that are in there. I'm like,
Yeah.
No, buddy, Daddy can't wear those. They're going to get
Yeah.
dirty in 2 seconds when I walk outside. So he picked out jeans.
So he picked out the white ones, and you suggested the blue ones, is what I heard, right?
Are we picking violence today?
No, we're just picking honesty. Well, welcome back to Property Pairings with Mike and Eric. I don't know what episode this is. I don't know that we'll keep track of episode count. Episode 2.
You couldn't remember that it was the second episode?
It's our 3rd time filming.
I guess.
And I don't know what order it's going to be posted in.
Oh.
So I
They'd
thought.
be chronological, right? This would go after the.
You're like, that's not my territory.
That's not you? Okay.
Not yet, Jake.
Not yet. Yeah. What are we drinking today?
We are drinking the Kirkland Scotch. It's 8 years old. It's their Chinese New Year edition. So this is the year of the snake. Our wonderful assistant, family member,
Allison.
Organizer of all things.
Got it
for us. Yeah, for Christmas.
It's weird. We got something else going on from Costco.
Something else going on.
Doesn't this come from Costco?
Yeah.
So I had my clothes the other day from Costco.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like we're coming up all Costco right now.
You're very Costco today,
Get
too.
enough subscribers, we can reach out about a sponsorship.
We're not sponsored yet, but if we get
Not
there.
sponsored.
Yeah.
Well, cheers.
Do you want to show off your Costco jeans?
These are not Costco jeans.
They looked like the Levi Costco jeans.
Really? I take that as a compliment.
Perfect.
Yeah.
spending more when you could have spent less.
It's Casual Friday again. You notice how I end up on Casual Friday when I'm around him on a Friday doing this.
I've been wearing jeans.
I know, you've really come into your own.
Lowered my
Yeah, I was
level.
going to say, coming to my level.
I do think that it's weird though if I show up at a listing and I'm in my because I have those plaid looking dress pants.
I think it's great when we show up at appointments dressed the same.
I know, that's embarrassing.
Do you know about the one time we actually showed up without talking to each other, wearing the exact same outfit?
It was the worst part. It's like a short sleeve button up,
That's not the worst part. That's the best part.
like tiny polka dots, khaki pants, brown shoes. It was like everything was.
We get out of the car. He's in his car.
That's
I'm
the
in
first time we've ever matched.
mine. The client is getting out of their car. I see him. He sees me. He does his Eric like, oh God. And I'm just giddy. I'm bouncing with joy. And the clients are just start laughing.
My old oh God during that one, because it was still fairly new, us working together, was less oh God and more. There's like a different feeling when you're matching.
Like
So
this
now
wasn't even, like,
it's oh God because I know
approximate.
it's gonna happen. That was, I'd never seen him wear that shirt before in his life,
I'm like a ninja.
and so that's where that original.
It wasn't even like we were close. Like we were spot on identical. The only difference is that I didn't have my shirt tucked in and he had his tucked in.
Well, yeah, I like to present well. I mean,
Wow.
I think yours was only white. I
No,
had
there's pink on mine.
I had red, yellow, and white. They were just really tiny. But they did, I mean, no one would know the
Well,
difference
red-
unless you were like up close.
Yeah, mine were I think were pink and white or something, but like me to you, it looks exactly the same. So that I don't know how we got here, but that was one of the highlights of that early time with you.
Yeah.
I still think about it, obviously, to this day.
Yeah, it's a memory,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
It's a good one.
It happened.
It's a good one. So yeah,
So yeah, this week Mike's got this other venture thing going, which he's been working on for quite a long time.
years. So yeah, it's our home stride program, and so we are helping people basically buy and sell homes across the country. And we close our first one today, and so it's one of those things you don't realize what you're getting into
Yeah.
until you start to climb that mountain. You don't realize how tall it is. So we started in December of 22, and we're February of 25 now, and we're finally at a point now where we're going to start to see money coming through again and being able to help people. So it's been a journey.
Yeah, it's been cool though. It's been like a fun thing to watch. Mike is so business-like, and he can just work on real estate and he can work on this. And then, I mean, there was another business venture that's still there that we're also working on, and it's really cool to see some of it pay off.
I
Yeah.
get to let my hair down in here though, so that's not the business mic. Just like that. But
Try
yeah,
it.
no, that's been good. That was a big thing this week. Also, snow made
Oh.
trying to do 8 to 10 hours of work in a 4-hour day because your kids have late start or no school, and they broke my computer yet last night at home.
The new one?
No, the other one that I have there, my little
Oh.
laptop, the power cord thing was bent, and I'm like, what happened here? And I tried to bend it back, and snap. So I have a new power cord coming.
Fun.
And I'm like, which one of you three did this?
Yeah.
And like Clark's like, I think Ashton did it. And Ashton's like, Blair did it. And Blair can't really talk, so
She just smiles, probably.
She's like, she's 2.
Yeah.
So that didn't matter to her. She walked out of the room. But yeah, it got broken sometime yesterday.
Yeah, he's been. So I have Mike's email on my phone, so I see the emails that come through just in case there's like a lead or something important. I'm like, hey, blah blah blah. But every morning or late night, it's like Lake Washington School District late start. The daycare email, it's like 2-hour late start, and even today they had late start, and it was like, why? Because you drove on the roads, like
Oh yeah,
There's-
the roads are only getting more clear.
there's
There's
yeah.
nothing going on.
Yeah. So, and I live on this like massive hill.
Mm.
And so
He got to work.
every single day, I'm not getting stuck at my house anymore. I'm just like, I'm going to chance it. What's the worst that could happen?
Just roll the car or
Yeah.
something. That's fine.
I'll just be like, a tree fell on it. That's comprehensive coverage.
That's been, so this week, let's see, that's been this week. It's been a challenging week in trying to be dad and husband and still work on the business and we're trying to support each other with the kids being home. So it's a blessing, I know, but sometimes it's tough. What else?
I got included in
The bedtime routine?
Yes.
Yes.
Nice. You read my brain. That was cool.
I know. See, it's a good thing.
Synchronization. So his youngest, I guess she says good night, like mommy and daddy and kids.
Actually, you came before me.
Oh, you were last.
It was good night, Eric.
Even after the dogs?
You were after the dogs, but before me.
Okay.
In getting recognition.
Nice.
How'd that feel for you?
Pretty used to it right now.
You're just like, oh.
I'm way down here for her.
Yeah, when so they had late start, and so they were here the other morning, and so Mike's getting up, and he's like, "All right, yeah, we got to go to daycare." And she looks at him, she goes, she's sitting in my lap, and she's like, "Bye, Daddy, bye." And he's like, "No,
no, we're
you're
all going
coming
together." Yeah, even time when I pick up the phone and someone answers and it has a male voice.
Oh yeah,
Eric, hi Eric. So,
it's cool. It's cool.
That was my week. We moved offices.
Yep, we got a new office, so we were moving all of that stuff down. It's bigger, better location, and
We have your room now. It's two offices in one. So now we have the ability to separate there a little bit.
take multiple calls. So that'll be cool. I'm excited. I liked doing that. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, moving's not my favorite thing. So thank you for spearheading that.
Yeah, it was like everything was moved except for Mike's corner of stuff because I was
Pile-
like, I don't know. There's some sort of organization there, I'm sure. I'm just not sure what
it is.
And so I didn't want to move anything because it's like papers on sticky notes, on like underwater bottles,
I have a beautiful mind.
and on the windows there's stuff stuck
There's pictures.
everywhere.
I have pictures of the kids like all over the space, and then
So I was like, if there's a missing sticky note, that's because of
it
your
got lost somewhere.
organization,
Well, it's
not
like
because Eric.
it's not like losing a magnet.
Oh, that was one time. Instantly replaced. Technically, kind of found it because found an extra.
Found an extra.
I like to call that organized chaos.
Thank you. Or see,
Yeah.
it's organized chaos.
I'll go back to my parents' house, and my dad does the same thing, except he just has stacks of those like yellow tab, pads.
Yeah.
But they're organized in a way where he's like, okay, these ones are scheduling, these ones are personal notes, and to do like he just has, but it just looks like just stacks of.
It doesn't make sense to the people who look at it,
Yeah.
but I know exactly what's there.
I believe you.
I did though have to put everything on one of the whiteboards because there's too many things going on that particular venture that need to be prioritized.
Big custom whiteboard. Get rid of those shelves and just have a huge whiteboard against that wall.
I'm gonna look like that guy. What's that picture with the guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia or whatever that's called? And he's
Charlie Day.
Danny
where he's
DeVito.
standing in
He
front of
looked
that
like him.
wall with all the different stuff, and there's all these red strings attaching everything. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly
I kind of look like that guy, and I'm like, this makes sense.
I don't understand.
It's a
that reference.
generational thing. Like, I'm with it. I get it.
Y'all are way different. You could be his dad.
Yeah, but I like to think maturity-wise, like, and
Okay, that's fair.
And I resonate. We get each other, I think.
I think so too. I'm agreeing for sure.
What else?
Oh yeah, I was trying to think what else happened this week. Oh,
My car broke. Oh wait, do you want to talk about something?
well, it was gonna be like real estate-y.
Oh, we got to do that. Yeah, we probably should.
Okay, so had a client wrote an offer on this house, $1.3 million. We wrote awesome offer, great terms. 16 offers. One of them escalated to $1,610,000 for a house that was just not
It's not worth it.
$1.6 million. Maybe 1.4 max. That was crazy. 16 offers on it. So
What's the highest your client would have went?
just below 1.4. So, which is what it was
Pretty much
worth.
where you were.
Yeah, because it's still, bathrooms and kitchens needed to be updated. Bathrooms and kitchens are the most expensive things to update. So, all three bathrooms and the kitchen were like maybe early 90s and not in like a good, like a black toilet. So,
Oh,
That's what's hard though. Like you're sitting there and you have someone who's whether a seasoned buyer or not, and they come in and they're like, okay, so I really like this house. There's a couple things I want to change. What do you think it's worth? So the one I got under contract this week, it was listed at $998. Like that broker could have listed it at $1,050,000 and everything would have been just fine. Probably
Yep.
just as much activity. Comps are saying up to 1.1, and it was, well, you know what? Let's try to write that scorched earth offer. Let's go to 1.175 from 998
Yeah.
to 1.175. All contingencies waived. And we still got pushed to the very limit of what we had because the competing offer that we were going up against also went to 1.175. I mean, like, are you seeing a lot of that right now on your side?
I kind of let them know there's going to be more houses. Right now, we're just competing against the early ones. It's like we're in the first week of February because there were 12 weeks of January. So there's going to be more homes. More and more stuff will pop on. I wonder how many people pushed from listing this week because of the snow. Because I went on, one popped on yesterday. I went to go check it out today. It's like practically Duval. And the first thing I get is like several messages from the other agent saying, hey, the seller like tried to shovel the driveway, but maybe it'd be better if you parked at the bottom. And I'm not a huge snow driver, but like now I'm just like, if I slide off, I slide off. It is what it is. So I met my client out there, and
I got a story for you after you
I
tell
know
you.
I'm so
yours.
excited for this. It's a hero story.
No, well, no, not that.
Oh.
That you want to tell that story? Okay,
I
I
thought that
got
was the
two
one.
stories.
Okay. So, but people don't like to drive in the snow. They get scared. There's snow on the ground, nothing on the road, and they're like, let's shut down the school. So I was like, this is an opportunity. Let's go look at the house.
It is
If
an
you like
opportunity.
it,
People aren't there.
Yeah, especially if the agent's texting, like, don't go up the driveway.
Yeah.
Then, like, people are going to be like, maybe we'll go look next weekend.
So my two stories for you.
Okay.
The one that he's thinking about is it was a couple years ago we had a snowstorm and I had to go show a house for this exact reason. It's snowing. I'm like, here's an opportunity to get these clients into this house. Be where your competition isn't. Most people aren't out looking at homes, right? So I make my way out to the house and I'm meeting the client there. Freshly fallen snow, and was it 2 years ago or was it 3 years ago?
It was 2021.
We had that like sequence of a handful of days where it's like every other day we got.
Well, because it was like COVID and you couldn't get the COVID test, but it wasn't like extreme COVID of 2020. I think it was 21.
Was it 21?
Yeah.
And I think it was in 20. So we had like alternating days of like heavy snow and nothing, and so it was fresh snow. And this road is you kind of go back and then it's up and then a right angle and down, and at the bottom of the hill there's another right angle. You go back up the hill again. So if it's dry or even rainy, it's not that big of a deal. But there's no at the top or at the bottom there, and there's no safety net there. Like you go off the edge or you run into a hillside. But it was fresh snow. The car went through the snow just fine. The client gets up there just fine. We show the house. Well, in the time that we had been in the house, one of the neighbors who was very plow happy decided to plow all the roads. But they don't want to damage their plow blades, so they only kept the plow blade off the snow by this much, or off the surface of the road. So they weren't actually scraping to the road. All they did was push the snow into basically a sheet of glass, sheet of ice, And so,
because the snow is keeping the traction on top of it. Yeah.
and he did this everywhere in the entire neighborhood. So the sellers of the home, they had a Ford Raptor coming home. He had done this, caused them to skid off the road, bounce out of a ditch, cartwheel down or spin around down the hill, run into the other side, take out a fence, and go all the way back to the bottom of the hill where it's a right angle. And if you don't make that turn, you go off the edge and it's a 20-foot drop. Yeah. So this whole fiasco, which should have taken me 45 minutes to get there, or to be from when we were at the house to when we were leaving to drive back out, should have taken half an hour, 45 minutes. Like 4 hours later, and I had to call my Robin here. He had to come save me because I didn't have chains in the car, let alone chains at all. So he brought chains, and I had to walk out to get them, and then walk back to the car, which is about a mile. It was quite the ordeal.
So I had to go on a snow day to Les Schwab when everyone else wants chains for their tires. You have to go in, and they have this huge sign on the front door, must have car here so we can give you the appropriate chains. And I'm like, send me your car manual, send me all of this information, because I'm going to wait in this line. I'm going to get up there, and they're going to be like, you can't have the chains. So luckily,
They
get
work
those
perfect.
changed. Then I have to drive. I think my dad had just landed too.
You and your dad were there. He drove all the way out to where I was, to the beginning of that road. I met him there, got back, got the chains.
Yeah, because he had just
Saved
gotten
the
from
day.
the airport. So
Saved the day.
yeah, people were saying like hero
Oh,
and savior,
here we go.
and
You
It
came
was.
through. That was
Yeah.
one of my that was on.
always come through. To be clear, I'm that person. People can call me and they're like, Eric will save the day.
It's true. He's pretty awesome like that.
So
My other story was, it was on a snowy, again, same thing as that with our friends over there in Ames Lake that live by you.
yeah, Chris and Liz.
Yep. And I'm showing them a home. Same reason. It's like, hey, let's get out there when there's snow.
Mhm.
We pull up to this house. There's a slope in the driveway. We both get out of our cars. I close the door to my car. My car's sitting beautifully in the driveway. Everything is fine. I'm going through the house. We get upstairs, and I look out the window, and my car's not there. Their car's still there. My car's not there. My car, my Jeep, slid out of the driveway all the way down the driveway. Parking, it's in park, brakes on, slid out of the driveway and out into the street.
Is this when they were moving?
When we were looking for their house.
Okay.
Just by the act, I guess, of me slamming the door. Like, I didn't slam the door, but close. Must have just started that ball rolling, that it went all the way down the driveway and out into the street in park. Nobody hit it, thank God. But
Yeah, could you imagine if it
well,
would
you
have been
look
one
out
of
the
those
window.
other drive?
Where's my car?
Yeah.
I've only been in here for 5 minutes.
Yeah, snow days are
Not my favorite. when it
no,
comes to that
not at
stuff.
all. I've gotten stuck in my house before for 6 days during a snow day.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I cabin fever.
This descent into madness, like this beautifully coiffed hair and
It
shaved
was
face. You look at him after 6 days, he's like,
6 hairs, 4 hairs, wild man.
he's looking like a wild man.
Yeah, cabin fever, insane. Like when you feel like you cannot leave, because my driveway was,
Yeah.
I couldn't leave. And this year I was like, nope, I'm just gonna try, and I did some
Little fishtails.
little fishtails and slides, and then because it's really steep when you're getting out, and so at that last part I was just gunned it, and my car did well.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. It's like we come back to it's like when you've got these opportunities, whether it's like tail end of the year, like it's snowy out or something. That is when you certainly have fortune favors the bold, right? So
Yeah.
you've got an opportunity to get out there and get a client into a home and show them stuff that people want when everybody else isn't looking.
Yeah.
So we always tend to take advantage of that.
I mean, did you want to talk about your?
Flub.
Yeah.
What
Flub
flub?
is the wrong word.
What flub?
Flub is the wrong word. Well, Jake was telling me that we, like he got some good video from last week, and he was like, after I told him, I was like, yeah, on Saturday, I lost out on my biggest listing. He was like,
Oh,
you may
that.
not want to, he was like, you may not want to post one of them. And I was like, I mean, it is what it is. I was excited in the time, and it's like, why not? Yeah, so it was not a flub.
That was
to be clear.
But that was disappointing.
Yeah, so that was not an ideal thing this week, but really nothing I could go against. It was just
you're going up against like a pre-existing relationship at a time when that the competing party came through on a transaction for them in an entirely different part of the area, not where Eric's kind of the specialist, but there's like that was already stressful at that time. It was unfortunate though.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, that's part of interviewing though. Like you never really have any, and even when you have a signed contract,
if there's a change of heart,
if they don't want to work with you, they don't want to work with you. So, and it's not that they didn't want to. They want to work with me. They want to adopt me. Like it all went well. It was just it was an agent said that they could do much better price, and that's what it came down to. So,
well, I am glad you stuck to your guns, at least in that regard, because
we're
not going to overpromise and underdeliver.
Yeah, no. And I think, I don't know if we've said this with you before, but I for sure have said it to other people. It's like, Mike and I sell homes. We don't just list them to put the sign in the yard and try to get the listing for any reason. We're like, hey, we're very confident. Here's all of the proof that shows. Here's our, I don't know, like showing your work in math to show like, here's the solution to get here. There's where we're at. And we can do that for you.
We are very much empirically driven. Like we will pull that data apart 6 ways from Sunday. And we'll hold our ground. I mean, now to caveat that and say, well, there have been times where the client's like, I'd really like to try at this price point. And, the conversation we'll have is like, that's great. If we're doing that, we're going to come back to our number in very short order. We can try it, but here's the risks of trying it. We make sure to gauge all that for the client. But yes, when it comes to our numbers, we don't pull a number out of the air or try to take a read of the room. What do they want to hear? Give them their confirmation bias kind of thing. Like we are willing to walk away from a piece of work if like we don't think we can deliver to your expectations because
meaning they want to list it higher than you think it would go for.
So it's a hypothetical,
or even lower initially.
Yeah.
Like my other listing there, they thought that they were about 100, almost 200 grand lower than what I said we should list at. And so it's like people always have some sort of pricing in their head, and then we ask about it. It's like, okay, here's where the data is that shows this is where it's going to land.
Yeah, we're pretty spot on it. I mean,
really
the one we got under contract this week. I was like 1,175,000. We'll get this one way or the other, and that's where it landed. So,
and last year for all of our listings, our average was 103%. So it's just like we were in a less than a 5% range of the house selling at that price. And for most of our properties, it sold more than.
Yeah. And we take pride in that. It's but it's a lot of work. So even when you're in that situation, it's like to a point, it's like let it go, because if they want a number we can't put our full faith into that we can deliver on that, then we let it go.
Yeah. So that's where we are with that one. It happens. On to the next one. We
had an extra cheers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to alleviate that, it still stings. It's not fun.
Yeah, but like you try to just give yourself the day, right? Like when you find out, it's like, okay. I'm sure Mike's like, I'll give myself
from me?
2 minutes. It was take the day. It was a long time ago. I don't remember. I've lost out on other listings, so it's not like it's the first time it happens.
But I was like, take a day.
Yep, you just take the day.
Go get some nachos. Go to Matador. Get some margaritas.
Yep. Cadillac team.
Oh, love the Matador.
Oh yeah, me too.
He's a regular. They have his spot for him. They make people move out of the way for
In
him.
Redmond,
Uh-huh.
I used to have my own table there.
Oh yeah.
Same waitress every Sunday night.
Yeah.
That's-
I sit at the bar. They always come over. They always know what I want to drink. They on Monday, Tuesday, Tequila Tuesday,
Right. Naturally.
one of the bartenders just happened to give like free top shelf shots to me and the other two people I was with. So I'm well known there. Yeah.
And you guys are enjoying these, and I'm drinking out of plastic cups half the time
Yeah.
that are mini sized like that.
Yeah.
With a little straw in the
and
lid.
eating on plastic plates.
Yeah.
God.
What do you normally eat there?
Oh, typically
Nachos.
pork carnita nachos,
Mhm.
no sour cream. They also know that. But I sometimes will get something off like I don't know. Their salads are pretty good too.
We were doing some headshots or new shots for luxury stuff, and there was a lot of conversations being had about having too much sodium and not having the nachos and things like that in preparation for these shots.
Yeah. Because
Of which you looked amazing.
I still went to Matador the day before that and I was like, no tahini, no chips and salsa.
That
No-
night,
no
didn't you
food.
go? Did you go back to the Matador that night though? Was that what it was?
Oh yeah, after the shots. Yeah. So I went
Make
back
it a
the
double.
next night and I was like, yes, tahini, yes to the nachos.
It was funny.
I love Matador in Redmond. I will talk about it all day. It's 21 and up, which is also really fun because I always sit at the bar and you sit kind of close to where the host stand is. So
Oh, yeah,
people will
no,
come in who
no.
are younger than 21 and they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's 21 and up. And I'm like, no, we're not sitting at the bar. And she's like, the whole restaurant's.
What's trippy to
bar.
me is I remember when the Matador was not the Matador and it was a breakfast place.
Oh, really? In Redmond?
Yeah, way back in the day, it was.
Oh, I didn't live here then.
It was a
We weren't
you
born,
could go there for
probably.
breakfast. What's that?
Huh?
I can't talk to you sometimes. It was a breakfast place in like the early mid '90s. God, I'm old, but it was really good. It was really good.
You weren't born, were you? Early 90s?
93.
Oh, yeah, no. So that was
He
before.
was born. Nah, you probably weren't born actually.
That's
'Cause
awesome.
It
I
was
love
right around
that
92,
story.
93 that I think
Yeah.
that it stopped being there.
Dang it. So,
Whatever. I still look younger than you.
sure.
They have this like really good habanero picante sauce so I'll either get like the steak burrito, like carne
Yeah.
asada burrito,
Oh,
and
it's
have
really.
that, like,
Yeah.
sauce. It's so good.
Yeah.
Because I used to like only go there for happy hour, and then one time we like missed happy hour. I was like, okay, like what else could I order?
Yeah.
Now that I'm not so like price conscious, and I tried that burrito, and I was like, oh my gosh.
I have not had
Yeah.
that.
It's so
Oh.
good.
It is good, but they're the same size as the.
They're big.
What's
Yeah.
the place right by your place? Because you and Julia
Plaza
like
Garcia?
split one because it's
The
so
Plaza
big.
Garcia place?
Yeah, they're that.
But
Because
can-
down in
but can you
Texas
pick
they
it
don't
up
do that.
and eat it? Because like the Plaza Garcia one's like,
it's
No,
like-
you
it's
can't.
like
They cut it in
too-
half
it's like
and
too wet almost.
Yeah.
To
Oh.
pick it up and eat it.
Yeah, in Texas they make actual burritos where you can like
Yeah.
they're
there's
normal,
there's a couple,
which is surprising because it's Texas.
there's a couple of like the food trucks around the area. Like we'll go there and get big,
Mhm.
whatever burrito. I always get the green salsa and
Yep.
oh, those hit.
Yeah, we picked some up.
Was that the time
From-
that Julia went and got burritos for herself but not for me?
No, that was before. That was
before.
that was
Okay.
BE before Eric. Yeah. No, but that was a burrito truck that was at the gas station.
Yep.
And we went there and it had like the French fries in the like a California.
Oh, California burrito.
Yeah.
So that's our thing at home on nights where like if we go to like because my wife was a member at the yacht club, her family's been there for years. We would bring home the fries if we didn't eat them, and I cut them up in the morning and I eggs and avocado and like if there's bacon left over, all that goes into breakfast burritos in the morning.
Sounds great.
So now that's a problem for me because it's turned into, hey, we need an extra order of fries. Why are we getting an extra order of fries? Well, because we like your breakfast burritos. Like, that's only if we have extra.
Yeah.
You don't buy more.
The
So,
yacht club. The yacht club.
I'm a member by marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And yet,
Mhm.
there you are. Yachting
have a
to the
boat.
yacht club.
I don't even like being on the water.
Mr. Yachter himself.
I mean, he does drive a land yacht, so.
Yahtzee.
Yeah. Well, right now I'm rolling around in my Toyota Tundra from high school.
Love that truck though.
I love that truck.
We've used that truck for like landscaping,
dump runs,
countless dump runs
for clients.
I
Yeah.
can't even think of how many dump runs we've used that truck for.
The backstory is when I was in high school, my dad got this truck. It's the first year Toyota Tundra. We drove that thing all through high school. And a couple years ago, maybe I started using it more frequently as I got out of college and started working. And like, hey, pops, I need to move this thing for a client. Can I borrow the truck? And finally, and I was like a year or so ago, 2 years ago, I was like, pops, you're not actually using the truck anymore. You can use it when he's like, I'll sell it to you. So I bought it from him. Love that thing.
Yeah.
And that was the high school truck I drove around in.
When we would borrow it from his dad, he'd be like, my dad just cleaned it, so we gotta like be really careful. I think we'll stop by the car wash and just like wash out the bed of the truck real quick.
Now there's goldfish and like food wrappers in there from those little terrors that inhabit my house. They made a mess. Thanks for being here with us this week. I'm Batman. This is Robin. Make sure to remember to click and subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.